Hello everyone, it's Kathy Champion and you're back here with me in my craft room and on my YouTube channel, Kathy's Random Acts of Stamping. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Gastonia, North Carolina, and thank you so much for taking the time to come in and spend a little time with me. Now, I want to apologize about yesterday's video. I had a video for yesterday. I'll show you the cute little card that I had made, and it looked like this. And for whatever reason, I don't know if that video was corrupted, but I did try twice uploading it, and every time that I did, the intro was fine, but the video itself was black, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was a glitch or what. But we're gonna remake this card, and I've got a couple more that I've made. So after we make it, I'm gonna show you all 3 or 4. This will be our 4th one. So I'm going to give you the measurements of what you're going to need to make it with. And to start off with, you're going to need a half a sheet of the cardstock of your choice. And this is 11 by 4 1/4. So if you take a full piece of cardstock, and I've cut this down a little bit because I needed to use a piece of it, but just think of that being a full sheet, and you cut it in half, having this 8.5 inch side to the top of your trimmer, and just slice that in half. So that's your piece. We're going to do some scoring in just a minute. You're also going to need, for the front mat, you're going to need a piece of designer series paper of your choice, and this needs to be 4 by 4. And you also need a strip that is 4 inches by 1 inch, and we're going to use the back side of that. Then you're going to also need a piece of this is Pool Party, and this is 4 inches by 5 1/4. Make sure I got that right. And we're going to need to cut a white piece that's going to mat, or did I decide I wanted this to be, we'll decide on that as we go. Yeah, this is 4 by 5 1/4. So I did have that measurement correct. Like I said, I am so sorry about yesterday's blunder. I also have 2 pieces here, and this, if you're wondering what color this paper is, this is one of our new in colors that will be coming out in the new catalog, and this is called Pale Papaya, and it looks more like an apricot type color. It is beautiful. It paired really pretty with this paper. So I'm using my I hate to see these go. These are on the retired list. So if you need some beautiful layering ovals, I highly recommend grabbing this set. I grabbed the next to the largest scallop, and next to the largest here of the plain. And we're going to run these through our die cut machine. I love my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. It always does such a good job. So tell you what, I'm going to run these two. I'm going to run both of these through at the same time. I think we can do that. Let's turn this one this way. That always saves time if you can cut both at the same time, and I think we can do that. So we're gonna give it the good old school try, and that saves, like I said, it saves time when you're working on a project. And I could have cut these ahead of time, but I decided that I wanted y'all to see exactly how they look when they come off. And you've seen me die cut before, so it's no biggie. So I'm going to lay those over there, flip that plate, put that back together. And now I'm going to pull these off, like so. And like that. So now I need to, what I'm aiming for here is I want a frame to put my beautiful floral piece on. And I thought this would be so pretty, and it's going to be on here. And then I have another piece of cardstock, and what I did is I used the hand-pinned petals. This is another new item that will be in the new catalog that will premiere Tuesday, May the 4th. So mark your calendars, because May 4th is going to be a busy day for all of us here at Stampin' Up! And the people that are filling orders and what have you. So if you have your eye on a certain product, unfortunately, I've already seen some of the items that are on back order. And I hate that, because I wouldn't think that they would have back orders already. But hopefully they will get these products back in by the 4th. We're hoping for that. Alright, so, and the pattern paper that I'm using also goes with that hand-pinned petals, and it's called hand-pinned designer series paper. This paper is simply gorgeous. Look at these colors. I love this paper. You've seen me use it before, but I mean, it is just absolutely stunning paper. Look at that beautiful purple. Look at that. I love the blues in that, and I've used this piece before. And then you got that beautiful pink on this side, like the Blushing Bride. So pretty. But anyway, those are brand new, along with the end colors are brand new. So none of the new stuff will be available until May 4th. But I was so excited, and I wanted to do something a little different. Since I already made 3 of these cards, I wanted to do something a little different. So what I did is I stamped this stamp right here. And I went ahead and colored it using my Stampin' Blends. And the colors that I used was, let me lay this back down. I used the Pale Papaya, light and dark. And I used the Soft Succulent, which is another color that's going to be in our end colors. So those colors were beautiful, and look how pretty that turned out. So I'm going to go ahead and run this through my die cut machine. This thing is so wonderful. I never have to push it. It has almost like an automatic feed. So if you are in the market for a trimmer, now would be the time to pick one up. And also, if you have been interested in coming into Stampin' Up! And you do not have to be a salesperson, you do not have to have a YouTube channel, you don't have to do what I do. If you want to come in just as what they call a hobbyist, you can come in, and starting on May the 4th through the 31st of May, they're offering a great incentive for anyone that joins Stampin' Up! Instead of the normal $125 worth of product for $99 plus tax and free shipping, you'll get $155 worth of product. So it is a great time. You can literally pick up this Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and you get it without paying postage on it. Can you imagine what a savings that would be? But anyway, well, this is my flower, and as you can see, this is what I was going for. I wanted something, a place to park my flower. And I love the way that looks, because it really does kind of go in with the theme of the paper. So that was the reason I chose that particular flower. So now we're going to do some scoring. And I'm just going to bring my trimmer out, because y'all know this trimmer is great. And it has a wonderful score blade and cut blade. So your light gray is your score blade. And whenever you're using that, you can put your cut blade down, because it has a place right here to park it where it's completely out of the way. These work independent from each other, and then you can park that one up there. So that makes this trimmer absolutely wonderful. So we're going to put this in, and we're going to score this first at 1 1/4. So I'm going to put that down, and I'm just holding it tight. Oops, it's not quite there. 1 1/4. You want to be careful when you're doing this. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do it on this side. I'm going to come over here and do my 1 1/4, and I'll tell you why. I got more hold on my paper this way. So if you're doing a small piece that's 1 1/2, 1 1/4, I would suggest to use this side. Sometimes we might be doing a 1/2 inch piece or 3/4 inch, maybe an inch. This is going to be 1 1/4. And it's so much easier because now I can hold my paper as I score. Then we're going to turn this and we're going to come over here and we're going to score it at 5 1/2. So I'm going to line that up. There's my 5, 5 1/4, 5 1/2. And making sure that it's up against that top lip. I'm going to put my arm down and score at 5 1/2. So now when I take this out, I'm going to bend that in. And I'm going to get a bone folder so we make sure we get a nice crisp edge on this. So what I'm doing is just making sure that everything is squared up. And I'm going to burnish that down really good. Then I'm going to flip it over to the side where the score mark's at this 1 1/4. And what we're going to do now is fold that back. So this is what makes our pocket for this fun fold slider pocket card. So there it is. This is your card base right here. In going forth, the best thing to do at this point is to go ahead and put down your Designer Series paper because it's going to center right here, right up underneath there. So I'm going to grab my silicone craft mat, or craft sheet, I think is what they call it. I always want to call it a mat because it reminds me of a mat. I'm going to grab my Stampin' Seal Plus, and I'm going to turn this piece over, and I am going to run some Stampin' Seal. I don't think I got enough up there. And I'm just going to run a piece all the way around. And this stuff is really super sticky. You know, I've heard me say this many times. So, and then you want to make sure you're paying attention to the direction of your paper. Not all papers have a direction, but this one definitely does because the flowers are growing up. You wouldn't want them growing sideways. So I'm going to lay this down very gently at first, making sure that I'm getting my margins just where I want them. And then commit it and stick it down. Give that a good little rub. Now at this point, you want to always make sure you put that piece of paper down first, your piece of Designer Series paper. Then you're going to glue this flap down. And for this, I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal again, and I'm going to put a piece across there and a piece across here. And then I'm just going to seal that down just like that. Coming together. It's coming together beautifully. So now what I need to do is I need to decide my ribbon, and I've got this piece right here, but I also have this little piece of green that I want to mat, and that's the back side of this paper. And as with Stampin' Up, their papers usually coordinate very well from the back to the front. So I use one side there, I'm going to use this side here. And that gives me a little contrast. If you can see, you got quite a little contrast there, and I love that. So let's bring the sheet back over, and I am going to run 2 pieces or 2 strips of my Stampin' Seal. If I can get that right there on the edge, that's what I was trying to do. And now we can go ahead and put this down. And again, I got a little of that hanging over the edge, so I do the same thing I do if I'm using tear and tape. I just roll it back onto itself, and I'm going to see if I can get this nice and even on here. And press that down. And now we are ready to put our tear and tape. And your tear and tape is going to work to hold your card together. We're not going to put any adhesive along here because we want this free flowing for our piece to go in and out of here. So we're not going to put any adhesive in this area. So in order to hold this card together, we're going to use tearing tape. And I am one of those people that likes my tearing tape to be nice and even though it is tearing tape, and you should be able to tear it. And there is a way that you can. If you have a little stamp block that has a sharp edge on it, like this one, I'll show you how you can make that work. You can literally, let's go ahead and take our piece of tape, and I'm going to start it right about in the center of this. And I'm going to lay it down all the way to the edge, and then just turn your card holding your tape like this. This is where you're going to need something to help you make sure that you're getting it nice and straight. So I'm using, let's come up here, I'm going to use the line right here on my little wood grain, and I'm going to bring that straight over to the other line. Hoping I got that straight. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? I think that's good. Then we're going to turn this over, and I'm going to bring that over right to that piece. Now, normally this is where you'd put your thumb down and you tear that. I want to show you a better way. Take the stamp block. If you got one of these El Cheapo ones, that's what I call them, that has the sharp edge on it, this works wonderful for tearing your tape. Your tape is always going to be straight and even, and it just works really well. So another little tip there. And then take your bone folder and burnish this down. The reason I say that is it makes it so much easier when you pull that up to have that, you know, where you can, I'm looking for my take your pick tool. Oh, I'm sure it's here under something. But that makes it much easier when you pull your backer off. And I do have my take your pick tool. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the edge of that until it releases. And then I'm going to pull this off. Make sure you have a non-stick surface. That's where these little silicone craft sheets come in so handy. Pull that off like that. Now you can lay this on here without fear of it sticking because it's not going to stick to the silicone. So that is why, another reason why this is such a great little tool to have. And these aren't very expensive, and you can use them for so many things. I have a video where I showed all of the ways that you can use that. Now this is our one of our new in color ribbons, and this is Soft Succulent. Look at the design on this ribbon. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. I thought it was so pretty when it came in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this down right into that sticky tape and just press it. And yes, this is what we're going to do. We're going to pick this up and we're going to run this all the way across the back, making sure that we are laying right into that adhesive. And then we're going to turn it, and we're going to come back around right to where we were at. And let me grab my ribbon scissors. Y'all know I have two pair of ribbon scissors, so y'all see me going back and forth between the two. And I thought I had my other ones out, and evidently I don't, and I couldn't find them, so we're going to use these. And I am going to cut that right there. And I'm going to leave the ribbon out because we are going to be making a bow. So I'm going to leave those scissors out for that reason. Now what we need to do is decide how we want to put this on. So I am thinking that I want this to come, I think I want that to come like that. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and adhere this to this, and I'm going to do that by putting some Stampin' Seal right here on this piece. Just like that. And like I said, if you're in the market for ovals, go and check these out because they are so many sizes. I even complained to Stamping Up about them taking our ovals away, because they did take the layering squares and the layering ovals. We still have the rectangles and the circles, but I was sad about this because I love my my ovals. So I'm going to put that right about there, or do I want to put it there? No, I want this in the middle. And then I want this flower to go kind of sideways like that. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'm trying to decide, do I want to pop that up? And I think I do. So I'm going to grab some Stampin' Dimensionals. And I'm going to put one there, one there, one there, and there. And I think I'll grab one more for the center. And I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool just to pull these off. Just makes it really easy and a lot faster. Well, that one just don't want to leave, does it? And then they're all lassoed up like this, so I can pull them all off and throw them right in the trash. Now, I usually do double check to make sure that they're all off just by putting my hand against that. And now I'm going to look and kind of eyeball the center of this. And that looks pretty good. So now I want to decide how I want to put this on. And I do want to pop this up as well. So I'm going to turn it over. And again, I'm going to grab my Stamping Dimensionals. Just like that. I don't know if a full size one will fit. I tell you what, let's, yeah. Let's grab a mini dimensional. That's the great thing about these. These are the little tiny ones, and they're, oh, so small. See how small they are? But they work great when you've got little places like this that you need just a little bit of sticky. So that is that. So I'm going to go ahead and pull off these backers again. And then the two small ones. And now I can put all of those in the trash, and then I don't have them all over my desk. And you know, if they're all over your desk, they're going to end up all over the floor, and then all out throughout the house. And oh my goodness. So I'm going to put that down just like that. Isn't that beautiful so far? I love the dimension on that. It looks beautiful. So now the next thing that we need to do is I'm going to cut a piece of white, and I think I want to put it on a piece of the Pool Party. So this is Pool Party, and this is basic white. So let's cut, I'm going to cut a piece of white that is 4 by 5 1/4. So here's my 4 and 5 1/4. This is going to be our bottom piece, and we're going to need a piece of the Pool Party that is 3 3/4 by 5. So I'm just cutting this down 1/4 of an inch smaller than the white piece, and that's going to go just like that. And now we need to decide what we're going to stamp on here. Now for my stamps, let me grab a different stamp set. This is a beautiful stamp set, and it does have a thanks, but it's kind of small. I want something a little larger across the top of this. All right, Peaceful Moments. I turn to this one so many times because these, first of all, they are beautiful font. And the second of all, these are sentiments, and I think we all need a good sentiment stamp set. And I will tell you that if you do not have one, this is the one to get. You got a happy birthday, a thank you, a sympathy, a congratulations. Always remember, wishing you every happiness this special day will bring, which you could use that for a wedding. Congratulation card for a wedding. You could use that for a graduation. You could also use that for happy birthday. These are the moments that we will look back on with joy. Also, a wedding card, a congratulations. This stamp set is absolutely wonderful. So I'm going to pull off the thank you because I love that thank you font. That's this one right here. And what I want to do is I want to stamp that right across the top here. So it's going to go right there, and I'm going to use the Momento Tuxedo black ink for this. So I'm just going to grab a block, and we're going to ink this up. Now I'm going to come all the way up to the top of this, as far up as I can get, and stamp that down. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'm going to give my stamps a real temporary little clean right here with my Simply Chamois, and that's what this is. And this is so stained. It's so stained. It did look like that without the spot in it when I first got it, but it has been well loved. But the great thing is it still works, and I take this to the sink and just rinse it out, wash it out with some dish soap, and it still works beautifully. All right, so now that we got that on there, I need to decide what else I want to put, and I think what I want to do is I want to use something else out of this, and I'm thinking maybe this flower off of the corner right here would be pretty, and let's do that. Let's stamp just a little edge of that right there. So what we're going to need to do for this, because we are using a photopolymer, I'm grabbing my Stampin' Pierce mat, and because I'm stamping off, I'm going to need something to protect my surface. So I keep, and y'all know this because you've seen me use them over and over, I usually keep one of these close by. And yes, I used that the other day. That was actually on the card that I made that did not go up. But hopefully I'll show that technique again. But anyway, I am going to put that right there, and I need to grab a stamp block, and I'm going to just use this one because I just want that portion of that flower, like right there. So I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to take my ink block, my ink pad, to the stamp. Oh no! Did y'all see that boo-boo I made? And I've ruined it. But you know what? We have two sides, so we will go back and stamp. No, we can't. Yeah, this is going to be glued down. That's right. This is going to be glued down, so nobody will see the back of it. Good thing, too, huh? All right, I got that inked, so let's put this down right about here. I am dangerous with the ink pad, y'all. But I think y'all already know that about me, so it comes as no surprise. I love that. That turned out beautiful. So I'm going to reach over here and just clean that up just a little bit. And then we're going to go back in and do that thank you again. Good thing is it's still on the stamp block, and so it's still ready to go. So I'm going to bring that ink over, and I'm going to ink it up again. And come down. We don't need the Stampin' Pierce mat under these because the cling stamps already have a cushion in them. They have the foam already there. If you look, you can see that line of foam. So that turned out pretty. So hopefully we can salvage this just by flipping our paper over, and no one will be the wiser. So we still have a place in here that we can put a sentiment if we wanted to. Or you could leave it blank and you could actually write your little note in here. I'm going to leave it blank for that reason. So what I'm going to do is turn that over. That ink is dry. And then I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus. And I have to turn my paper just a little bit, but that's okay. And turn it. And then I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to bring this piece of white back in because we are going to map this piece of Pool Party on top of the white. Very pretty. So now when you put this into your card, this is what it's going to look like. Isn't that pretty? So we need a bow, so I'm going to try to tie a bow. You'll notice I said try, because I never ever tie a good bow on camera. It's crazy that it's like that, but it is so true. And I'm just making what's called a bunny ear bow, because these are quick, they're easy, and they usually turn out very pretty. So I got a little bit of a tail on the right, and I'm going to match my loops as best I can. Then I'm just going to cross them over and bring that side up underneath here through that loop, hang on to the other side, and pull. And then once you get it pulled, then you can adjust your loops, manipulate your loops, and then tighten it down. I like to tighten it and then pull my loops again, and then tighten it. Once I get it almost like I want it, I make it a little bit smaller, and then I pull it tight again. And that usually gives me exactly what I need. So my ribbon scissors, and I'm going to cut that way and cut this way. Now we got a really cute little bow, and we're going to put that right there where that came together. And I'm going to use a glue dot just about out on this little roll of glue dots. But I'm going to take your pick tool, and I'm going to pull that glue dot up because I want to put it right here, right where I want it to be. Oop. And then I'm going to set that bow right down into that glue dot, just like that. And this card is done. So let me push some of this stuff out of my way, and I'm going to show you all four now, four, count them, four cards that I ended up making before I actually got one out to y'all. So it definitely proved to be, the card's not challenging, the card is really easy. The challenge was my equipment. So I am using a new camera with a new mic today, and I hope that that is coming through for you. Here are all of my little cards that I made. So I'm going to start with this one. I did this one with the sweet ice cream. And I used, I think I did use the punch on one of these, but most of these I fussy cut. And then when you pull this out, I have another ice cream cone on inside, and it says, "You're so cool." I love this. I thought it turned out so pretty. And I love the way this ice cream is up over top of this piece. So you just have to reach in there and pull that out. So pretty. I used the Granny Apple Green, the Designer Series paper that goes with the sweet ice cream. And I used Pool Party ribbon. And then for this one, this is the one y'all would have seen had it gone up. I used the mini messages, and I just put a piece of black behind that. I used the True Love Designer Series paper. The only thing on here that is not that did not come from that pack of paper is the basic black, the basic white, and the real red. So when you pull this out, you have this beautiful piece with a beautiful message on it. It says, "Sending a smile your way. Smile. Trust me, you're lovely." What a beautiful encouragement card. If you know someone that's just having a hard time and they need a word of encouragement, this is beautiful. Now, I used that True Love Designer Series paper that's all black and white, but I fussy cut these out and I colored them with my Stampin' Blends, and I only used two colors. I used the light and dark Granny Apple Green and the light and dark Real Red, and of course I followed through here. So I love the way this card turned out. I thought it was beautiful. It was kind of a step up from some of the other ones that I made, but that's 3. Where'd the other one go? Oh, the ice cream. I showed you that one. So let me move that over. The next one, this was my very first one, and this one I did with the Dandelion Patch paper, and I cut the dandelion out. I used the die cut and cut that little piece, connected it, and from the Etched in Nature I used the mushrooms and I stamped that right there. And Cherish Happy Moments. When being together is more important than what you do, you're with a friend. And I thought that was cute. And I used the Gorgeous Grape ribbon, and I used the butterfly, the Forever Butterfly Brilliance, and I had some of this vellum that was already cut into butterflies, so I just took a piece of Gorgeous Grape, cut the background, and then used some black gems for his body, and that was this card. And then of course y'all watched me make this one. So you can see they're all different. This one, it could be more of a note card. I've got a place in here to write a thank you note to someone, and I love these colors. They are so soft, so beautiful, and I think y'all all are going to enjoy the colors that we're going to have in our new in colors. So stay tuned. God bless and keep you. I am so happy that y'all took some time to spend with me today. And again, I so apologize for yesterday's blunder. I still don't know what happened, but the good thing is I am working with new equipment. Hopefully this is going to turn out really well, and I'll be ready to start my very next project very soon. So thanks again so much for tuning in. May God bless and keep you. And as I always say in closing, let everything you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. So be safe. Know that you are loved and you're in my prayers. And just as a reminder, any of the products that you saw me use, some of them will not be available until May 4th, but come May 4th, hopefully you'll have your catalog in your hand. If you're new to my channel, this is your first time, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, and you can choose all notifications, and that way you will be notified every time I put up a video. So until next time, happy crafting everyone. Bye-bye.